Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our review of NCIS Season 19, Episode 7. Coco, very excited, clearly, to talk about NCIS.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. There was some stuff that was revealed about Parker, which I
Yeah,
think is interesting, and also sort of the show is pushing Parker to be the anti-Gibbs, and we will talk more about that as well.
yeah, I will say this episode I found to be fairly funny. I think there's some really
Yeah.
good moments in here, some good character stuff. I mean, this episode is entitled Docked.
Mhm.
So dock yourself and prepare for a great discussion, everybody.
And hit that subscribe button if you're new here and you want to get all the NCIS reviews that we will have all throughout the season. It's the best way to stay in touch with us and make sure that you're able to find our videos right away when they're posted, which is every Monday night after the episode.
By the way, over the weekend, we talked a little bit about Succession, the latest episode of that, and also the premiere of Dexter New Blood. So while you're docked, also dock yourself with your Dark Passenger and go over there and check that out as well.
Also, follow us on Instagram, Matt and Jess TV. We have some new photos up, some new houseplants we got, some new Coco photos, some new Harley cat photos. There's all kinds of fun stuff over there.
All right. Speaking of fun stuff, can we start here by discussing? Are you going to go and download the Bantium app as introduced by Agent Parker in this episode?
No, I'm more of a Gibbs sort of gal. I don't have a lot of apps on my phone. I'm also like Torres is like, I got a million apps on my phone already. It's enough is enough. But what I did like about this is that they were really trying to show the difference between Parker and Gibbs. I mean, Parker's really social. He's cracking jokes at the end of the episode, having fun with people. He's very pro technology.
Yeah.
He's anti boat, which is kind of strange for this job, but we know that Gibbs love boats. They were really trying to show that these two men could not be more opposite. What I appreciated though was that they gave us something that wasn't just, oh, look how different he is from Gibbs. They gave us a little sliver of his life, which is that he has been married and he doesn't really know why his marriage fell apart.
Okay, Parker, there's a couple of things here that are just bouncing around in my head, starting off with the fact that after what happened to Gibbs's boat at the end of last season, I wouldn't like boats either. I know that not every boat's gonna go kabloom, but what we've learned from NCIS over the years is that boats either explode, there are dead bodies on them, or there are other ne'er-do-wells that are like creeping around the corner waiting to take you out.
Ne'er-do-well.
That's right,
Nice.
ne'er-do-well. So I am also out on boats at the moment. I will hot take here on the Bantium app. See,
All right.
I am not I am not totally anti-technology. However, I'm not so let's go install every new app under the sun here. But I think, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments here, but this could actually be useful in a couple of situations. Like maybe there's a spot going on here where everybody's trying to solve a crime and they're running around and somebody's like, here, let us connect our phones. And then, oh, I did it wrong. Here, let us connect our phones. And then they do it that way. And then all of a sudden, you can get an update from someone without really talking in the midst of a battle.
Yes, there is benefits to it. I know lots of companies use like something similar called Slack or WhatsApp or whatever, but just the same, I think the idea of this like forced corporate, you gotta have an app on your phone if your phone is not a work phone and it's a personal phone. I'm thumbs down on that. I don't want to put apps on my phone. I think the only apps I have on my phone besides like Twitter and Instagram is like a cat collecting game, and that's about it.
See, I have a lot of like food related things because I keep waiting for like deals. So that's the ultimately.
I don't want work being able to get a hold of me whenever they want on my days off.
I really did enjoy the update on Parker throughout
Yeah.
a lot of this. I think it was interesting hearing about whatever happened in his marriage. I'm sure we'll have chances to learn about that later. I like the comment about him coming from the big family that he related to sort of the Brady bunch. Now, here is my one concern with Parker. The man has lied before about what he has been up to, about Simon and Garfunkel Gate. So I'm like, do I believe you with anything that he says? Like, I just don't know if I believe anything from him right now.
He has dropped a few strange things over the time that we've gotten to know him. Some things where I'm kind of like, that is a very, like, strange story. Like, the colony of people that are unclothed that are after him for whatever reason. He reminds me a little bit of James Spader's character Reddington over on Blacklist, where he has all these big fish stories. You know, are they real? Are they not real? Is there a little truth and it's expanded, or is it just true? Is he the most interesting man in the world and we just don't know it yet? It's possible.
It is possible. For right now, though, Timothy McGee, you can be the most interesting man in my heart, because I love this episode so much for McGee. It's always good to... I love McGee spotlights, what can I say?
And I love having Delilah back.
Yeah, I loved having her, and I love sort of the way all of this played out. So, in Docked, we met here Judy, and I keep wanting to call her Jill. I think that's because that's who Patricia Richardson played on Home Improvement.
Yeah, but yeah, we met Judy, who is McGee's mother-in-law, who has been lying a lot and keeping a lot from her daughter Delilah, because ever since Delilah's father passed away, the story is going that Delilah's being extra protective. But I mean, would Judy need to lie about being on a cruise? This doesn't seem like it's really that dangerous. However, when they revealed some of the other things that she's doing, I kind of understand where Delilah's coming from. You've lost your father and your mother wants to go skydiving. You're picking all these sort of like really dangerous activities. You want to go skydiving, mountain climbing, motorcycle riding, like what? Set yourself on fire. I'm starting to understand where Delilah's coming from. Did she go a little far? Yes, she did. However, I kind of understand more so where she's coming from than her mom just hiding everything and lying about everything.
I had a lot of sympathy for Delilah in this episode. And, you know, by the way, in the NCIS episode in my head, like the closing scene of all of this, it's featuring McGee and Delilah wondering, you know, where Judy has gone. And in the background, she's like shooting herself out of a cannon or something into the air.
Yeah, like the one moment that I was no longer Team Judy or understanding maybe where Judy was coming from is hiding an engagement. I mean, once you're getting into family decisions that affect everybody, you know, you're bringing someone in who's going to be her stepfather, someone who's, you know, a love of Judy. I was starting to really get out on this character where it was like, okay, a bridge too far. You don't need to hide romantic relationships of someone you're in love with from your kid. I mean, that's not jumping out of a plane or shooting yourself out of a cannon into the sun.
No, it's more of the, if you're Delilah, I think you could probably understand if she's like, okay, you know, I'm not going to speak out about my new relationship for a couple of weeks. Maybe you want to see how things go. But once you're at the point where you're even remotely talking about engagement, let alone, oh, I'm engaged now, you should probably say something, because this is your daughter. Your daughter is used to you being with somebody else. It is a very difficult adjustment. And if you want it to feel like a proper family, you gotta say something.
Yeah, that was what was missing about it. It felt like their disconnect was so broken, like their family was so broken that Judy can't share that she's in love or that she's engaged or she's looking to be married. This person's gonna be in her life, in everybody's life. I mean, she not only like hid this engagement, but like hid this man entirely.
Yeah.
When McGee ended up finally sitting down with both of them and airing it all out to say, listen, Delilah, you're wrong. You're taking things too far. Judy, you know, you got to stop hiding everything. I felt like Judy got too much of a pass. It wasn't strong enough for some of the things she was doing.
Yeah, this is, you know, I enjoyed this episode a good bit, but I do think the biggest sort of flaw in it was that I get the sense that a lot of shows, NCIS included, they like to have the, look, it's the weird and quirky guest star who's gonna come on and do weird and quirky things, and it's just sort of like, okay.
Yeah, it's so quirky. She took a cruise.
Yeah.
That's why when it was all happening and it was being hidden from Delilah that she took a cruise, I was kind of like, this is nothing. This is like nothing. I don't understand why something like this would be hidden.
Yeah, they needed to be just a little bit, I think, more just basic humanity from Judy as a character, as opposed to here's all these like out there things that she's doing, or here's this engagement that she's hiding. But I will say this with McGee. I loved how desperate McGee was in this episode to find some sort of inner peace, starting with him trying to like bribe Jimmy into staying at the place, even though Jimmy clearly wanted to leave.
Oh yeah, Jimmy two-stepping out the door. I wasn't surprised, but I did like that when Parker showed up and he was still trying again to get somebody to stay. Parker was like, I could eat.
Apparently Parker got absolutely nothing going on. He's willing to do that. He's willing to go get burgers at the end of the episode.
Parker loves to eat. That's sort of where I figured out with Parker. He's always bringing in pastries. He's always looking to eat burgers.
Yeah.
He would stay. But I also just like that Parker and McGee feel like co-workers. It doesn't feel like the same relationship that McGee had with Gibbs. And I don't think you can't replicate that relationship. It's just not possible. But McGee has earned his spot. He's a senior agent. It feels like this is the right place for them to land together, the two of them.
Yeah, and I like this relationship. If they continue down this road, I will be happy. My favorite moment of the entire McGee, Delilah, Judy stuff, it was very small, but it was the sight of McGee like laying back in the chair. He was like listening to like relaxing affirmations or something at one point. It was just so absurd. It's just like, McGee, I feel you so much. We have all been in this situation where like family around us is just arguing and you wish you could just, do the whole little dance your way out of it and you can't.
We all want to Jimmy the situation and just walk out the door.
Yeah, like all of that, I just thought it was so fun, and it kind of helps to just really overshadow how forgettable the case in the end was, because I barely remember any of it now, and it's only been like 15 minutes since I've watched it.
No, this case was, it was okay. It's gonna be a good case for sort of like, you're sick and you're sitting on the couch and you just want to get in and out of a case. This is a good case for that. It's not anything that's going to be really memorable, but it's a good case.
Yeah. I think this is sort of perfect for NCIS's just sort of core audience with this episode, because they know NCIS fans by and large really like the case of the week stuff.
Yeah.
You got that.
Yep.
You got a guest star who I think a lot of people out there's a lot of people who remember that's my Home Improvement Tim Taylor impression.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I loved Home Improvement so much. I'm not going to give my Tim Allen impression because it's going to be worse than that.
It's possible to be worse than that.
Oh yeah,
that was bad. No.
Yeah, see, it's worse. It is worse. It is 13 minutes in. Nobody's watching.
Okay. All right. Well, let us know. You can't talk in the comments, but give us your written interpretation of the Tim the Tool Man. No, people loved Home Improvement. I think it was a really good move to get Patricia in as a guest star for this episode.
Yeah, I agree. It was really good to see her again. I haven't seen her since Home Improvement. I'm sure she's done other things, but nothing that I had seen her in, but it was really good to see her.
Yeah, and I hope, and I'm sure we might get a chance to see her again at some point down the road. I know we'll see Delilah again, and I love McGee. He's my favorite character on the show at this point. So any McGee sort of spotlight episode is something I'm really going to get behind.
For sure.
Okay, well, let's turn this over to you guys. What did you think about this episode, season 19, episode 7? Are you still missing Gibbs? Do you like how they're approaching Parker as a character right now? Would you use the Bantium app if it is presented to you?
0 out of 10.
Let us know in the comments so we can all link our phones together. Give us a like, hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys. We'll see you here next time.